Hey guys, what's up? It's Billy or Yilib here, and today I'm gonna be telling you guys a story about the time my computer teacher said she would let me die if she had the option. So I was in eighth grade at the time, and I didn't really care about anything I really said. I didn't really have a filter. I didn't care about other people's feelings and emotions, and that's just the type of savage I was back then. I kind of changed my ways, and I didn't really want that to be what I was known for. I was a good kid to people who were good to me, but if you like piss me off, like, you know, I'd roast the fuck out of you, or I'd say some really cruel ass shit, and that's just how it was. But I changed my ways. I'm much more passive now, which is 10 times better than how I was. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So in eighth grade, my class was known as the bad class. And it's not even like we were bad kids or anything. It's just throughout our entire elementary to middle school, like, time gap, I guess, time, space, whatever. Between that time, we just gained a very bad reputation of not behaving and not listening and just not really caring about what anyone in authority really said because we just did what we wanted. So we kind of just grew that reputation. That reputation just became worse and worse and worse as the years went by. We're in eighth grade. That's like a good 11 years of our life just becoming more toxic and toxic. We were good with each other, but just like with certain authority figures, we did not care. And one of those authority figures was our computer lab teacher, and we just didn't like her because from the second we got into her class in first grade, she taught us how to type and, like, put your fingers on these letters and move them around like this. None of us learned how to type like that. Maybe one kid. It was like one of my friends, and he's just a fucking nerd. Anyway, so she just taught us that and taught us Microsoft Word, things that was pretty basic stuff, I guess. And you're teaching it to a first grader, so it's just good for them to know. But it's like every year she taught us the same thing, and we just got annoyed at it. We're just like, you know what, forget this. Like, sometimes we did have good classes with her where she'd show us games and stuff, and we'd play and we'd have fun. But a lot of times this class was boring, and we just did not pay attention because that's the type of kids we were. We didn't care. That's just how it was. So we're in this teacher's class. I'm gonna call her Miss Cow, and I'm gonna call her Miss Cal because she was a heavy set woman, and she was kind of ugly, and also, God, that's so fucked up. I shouldn't be saying that, but I'm really calling her Miss Cow because she had a cowbell on her desk, and she would ring it to get our attention, like, really loud, for being obnoxious and stuff and not listening. And then one of us, I can't remember who it was, had the bright idea to moo when she would ring the bell. And it was the funniest shit. She'd be like, "Guys, you're being too loud. Ding 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 ding." And just the entire class was moo. It was so fucked up but so funny at the same time. And it's like the first time we did it, she was just in shock, just like, what? I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, Miss Cow. We have her one day, and she's teaching us about Microsoft Word for the thousandth time. And she's teaching us how to put borders around slides to make them look better and more presentable. And it's like, I'm never going to use this in my life. So I told her, I'm like, when are we ever going to actually need to know how to do this? And she's like, oh, if you're making a job resume, you could make it stand out a bit more by putting a border around it. And in my head, I'm like, if I'm going to apply for a serious job, why would they look at at the goddamn border around my paper? Like, no one's gonna care about that. Like, if they just want to know if I could do the job and if I could do the job right. And that's all they care about. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I'll do this stupid thing. And it was a 45 minute. No. It was an extended period. I remember that as an extended period for some reason. So basically, we were in there longer than 45 minutes. And I was like, shit, I don't want to be making borders for 45 minutes of this class. There has to be a quicker way I could learn this. So I'm like, you know what? YouTube. And on certain computers, YouTube wasn't allowed because some kid a few years back did some stupid shit and pulled up some stuff he shouldn't have pulled up in school, a Catholic school. I should, point that out. He just pulled up some stuff he shouldn't pull up, and they basically banned YouTube from a lot of the computers in the school, except for certain computers. Luckily for me, the computer I chose had YouTube. So I opened up YouTube and I looked up how to make borders, and I remember learning this. I remember learning it in 6 minutes. So all it took, 6 minutes, and I learned it. Boom, done. And I started helping my friends with it. She started getting angry at me, like, oh, don't help them. They should learn how to do it on their own. And I'm like, listen, you're not helping us. I'm doing your job by helping them. And I literally just did your job in 6 minutes of learning how to do these magnificent borders that we need so dearly in life. So I just kind of just told her, fuck off and let me do what I'm doing and help my friends. So I'm helping them doing their thing. She gets more mad at me, and I'm just like, look, I learned what you taught me in 6 minutes. Your whole job right now is pointless because I already did it. What you're doing here is pointless. And we go back and forth, and for some reason I can't remember why. It's just I'm missing this part in my brain. We all just started sitting in the front of the classroom and looking at the smart board behind her because she was showing us something. I can't remember how we got there, but I remember we were up there and I started talking. Her and me started, going at it again, and we're like, I'm basically saying, look, what you're teaching us is pointless. We're never going to use it. Teach us something that's useful to us, and it's not something you've taught us time after time after time. And she's getting aggravated with me, and she just says, "Oh, well, what do you want to learn?" So I just start naming off stuff. So I'm like, "Listen, Miss Cow, if you actually want us to, respect you and we have a good class, teach us how to do things that are fun. Like teach us how to edit videos or use Photoshop and make a website because those are things we wanted to learn how to do, but she never taught us." And her comeback was, oh, well, if you could learn how to do my lesson on YouTube, why don't you go on YouTube and figure out how to do that? Which was fair. I guess I could do that. But, we're in a computer class and you could just teach us everyone at one time how to do something instead of all of us individually doing it. And that takes up time. We're in school for a reason. So we go back and forth. And I'm just like, listen, Miss Cal, like your class is so pointless. Like half of this stuff we already know because you taught it to us when we were kids. Like we don't need to keep going over and over and over. And she says some stuff back to me. She's like, wow, you're just so rude. You know that you're so rude. You never used to be this rude. And I was just like, yeah, I guess I am. Oh well. And she said, you know what? Like, I want to be nice to you and everything, but you're just so disrespectful to me all the time. For what reason? I don't understand it. Like, I just, I just don't understand. She told me, and she looked me dead in the face in front of everyone and said, "If you were on the side of a cliff and you were hanging off, I would let you fall. I would watch you and let you fall and die." And I said, "Is that a threat? I could bring that to the principal right now and get you expelled." I said expelled, but I could get you fired. And I just started laughing at it. And my friend started laughing at it too. We're gonna call him Mark. So me and Mark are always like on the same, thinking space. And he was also chiming in, saying some stuff to her, like, he's got a point. Some of the stuff you do teach us, we don't need to know. We already know. Teach us something that's important. But she didn't go after him. She went after me because I was the one who was really digging into it. Because I'm like, it's almost time to graduate. I don't care about nothing at this point. I'm going to say what I want to say and leave. So I said what I had to say, and she's like, I'd let you die. And I was like, wow, that's really fucked up for you to say as a teacher. And she just said, forget it. Everyone go back to their seats now. And she yelled it. And I was just like, whoa, she's upset. And she was just quiet for the rest of the class. And then class ended and we switched out. And then the other half of my class came into that classroom because it was an extended period and my class was really big and basically it was just like while one class does one subject, the other class will do the other subject. So we all, kind of congregate to ourselves. Is that a right word? I don't know. I don't think I said that right. Anyway, we all get to our group and they're all like, yo, Miss Cow was crying. Like her voice was wobbly. And I was just like, whoa, really? And they're like, yeah. And she was teary eyed and I was like, damn, I made a teacher cry. That's some pretty hard shit. Like a little fucking 12-year-old, 13-year-old made a grown woman cry. And it was kind of at that point where I'm like, damn, I don't think it was just me that could have made her cry. Like, what if something happened to her in that day that just, was really fucked up, and she has to put up with me being annoying and shit because I was just being stupid, and it just, made her break. And I was just like, damn. So it was like from that point I was like, I want to be a little bit more of a nicer person. So I stopped being mean. I never apologized to her because I stood by what I said. She never really taught us anything that was worth learning. And, a few weeks go by, school's graduation day is coming up, and she's like, oh, just so you know, you didn't make me cry. I know people were saying that. Just know that. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like, and she didn't even say it to me directly. It's like, as we were leaving one day, she's like, oh, just know you didn't make me cry. I wasn't crying. And I was just like, oh, all right. I'm pretty sure I ignored her, but like in my mind, I was like, oh, I don't fucking care. So yeah, and that's the story time of how my teacher told me she would let me die if she had the choice, and I made her cry. Anyway, I know I said in the last video, I'd be posting a lot more, but I just really couldn't, and I don't even know about the future because I'm about to start my junior year, and junior year is very important because if I fuck up, I fuck up my chances for colleges, and if I fuck up my chances for colleges, I might have to make YouTube my full-time job. But yeah. I guess I'll see you guys another time. So, peace. Thanks for watching.
I'ma fuck up my life.